Welcome back, everybody. All Net Podcast, another edition, and it's a special one. The NBA is back. Last night we had our first few games. Guys, how are you feeling now that we have real basketball to attain and look at and analyze? What do you think?
You already know the NBA is back, man. This is what we like to see, bro. And today's gonna be the real day because we're filming on today. It's October 19th, Wednesday.
Yep.
So we got the real game starting. Yesterday we had the 4 games. We had Boston versus the Sixers, and we had the Warriors versus the Lakers.
Yep.
Those games were amazing.
And tonight we got a massive slate of games that I'm sure we're gonna go over later. Matt, first NBA action. How do you feel?
Hey, man, those games yesterday were fire. But
Facts.
today's the real game, bro. Heat Nation,
Okay.
let's ride.
Dude, you can't just take, dude.
Heat Nation,
You're setting
let's
us up.
ride.
You're gonna set up the Heat for Russell Wilson season.
They want to know.
Who?
The Heat.
What do you mean?
They want to know.
Okay.
Bro's
They're
already calling the
He's
game.
already calling a shot. All right. Before we get into the rest of the episode, I want to thank everybody for the support they've shown on All Net Podcast, Instagram, on our TikTok, on the YouTube. Appreciate you guys showing love. Of course, we're still on our 3rd episode. We're still new, still fresh, but we're bringing you content weekly, every Thursday at 5 p.m. So thanks for tuning in. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcast, leave us a rating, leave us a like, subscribe, follow, the whole 9. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And, of course, follow us on Instagram. Stay up to date with everything we do on the podcast, all of our reels, all of our content, all of our updates will be on there. Now, let's get into the meat of it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, if you will. Sixers Celtics started off the day for us. I was more excited for this game. If we look at the slate on paper, there's a couple teams. The Warriors and the Lakers are later. We don't know what to think of the Lakers. Now we do. But the Sixers Celtics came out. I was excited to see number one. Obviously, I think everyone around the NBA has been pretty high. Most people.
So I want to hear it already. I want to hear it.
Well, they've been pretty high on the Sixers. Most people have. I mean, both of you guys had them as the first seed in their conference.
Yes.
In our award predictions, which
MVP.
yeah, which were 2 episodes ago. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that. But they came out, and I honestly, before the game started, I thought this would be a runaway win for the Sixers. I thought there was no chance Celtics were winning, but I was wrong. A couple things that I saw.
For sure, wrong.
Number one, the Jays, Tatum, Brown, they haven't missed a beat since the finals.
They're massive. 35 each.
Okay.
Wait, they both had 35?
Yeah, they both had 35.
I thought they had one had like 30 and then 35.
No, they both had 35.
Jesus Christ. 70 combined?
70 combined. That's
super tough.
They made history yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there you go. I was watching the game, but I didn't I feel like Jaylen Brown had a quiet, he wasn't that loud. He had a couple dunks and stuff, but he wasn't that loud. But Tatum was just like,
let me be the first to say it.
yeah.
I was wrong about Celtics already, just on day one.
I feel the same way though, because I was like, okay, they're gonna come out and just be like whatever, but the defense is still there.
Remember, I had them 7th seed. I didn't think they were gonna have that big of a season.
Yeah, I didn't remember you had them 7th, but I
had them 7th.
low.
Yeah. I had because Ime was out.
Yeah.
Robert Williams is gonna be out for a while.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter, bro. Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they could carry though. They could be a first seed now.
Okay, all right. Look,
I'm just
They
throwing
could.
a prediction out there.
No, look, it's the first games. We're excited. I don't think it's an overreaction. I think the Celtics are that good.
Nah,
But also, we're here to overreact just a little bit. I'm ready for it.
For sure.
I'm ready for it. Let's talk about why I think they were so effective, the Celtics. And that's because of the way they played defense on Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was getting swarmed. And if you look at the box score, he had like 25, 15, and 5 or some shit like that. Something like 26, something like that.
Yeah.
That was probably the most ineffective 26, 15, and 5 I've ever seen in my life. He was just getting swarmed. He had some decent plays, a couple and ones that will jump off some Harden and stuff, which we'll get to Harden in a little bit because that was probably the star of the game for me. But I just don't think Joel played up to his standard. And I think that they didn't have Robert Williams there. That was an Al Horford who got in foul trouble early. It was a lot of Noah Vonleh on the fucking court. Noah Vonleh.
Grant Williams helped out.
Grant Williams. Blake Griffin was up there.
Throwing double teams at him. He couldn't pass out. He couldn't do anything.
It was kind of jarring to see. He's supposed to be MVP. Obviously, it's one game. We get it. He could come back and have a fucking monster season for the rest of the year. But I'm not super encouraged by what I saw, especially in that matchup against the Celtics, who you very well know, the Sixers and the Celtics could meet up later down on the year and they be a playoff series.
For sure.
Ends up, getting
It'll be a
fucked
fun
over.
playoff series.
Lewis, I'm gonna swing it to you because I want you to talk about because last episode we did the top 30 NBA players in the
Harden's
league,
not top 30.
and this is what you said. Now again, this is one game. We'll take it with a grain of salt, even though it is James Harden, and I guess me and you know who James Harden is. He's not very familiar.
I'm very familiar with James Harden.
James Harden comes out, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists.
38.
No, 35.
I mean,
35, 8,
My
and
fault.
7.
35, 8, and 7. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Step
I don't
back-
even like the guy, and I know his stats more. Come on,
Step
that's
back
crazy.
threes. I mean, what do you have to say? I mean, listen,
Okay,
it's not gonna be
Spotlight
it's not-
series right now, bro.
Yeah, it's
Spotlight
not gonna be
he
like
had a really good game though. Yesterday he was an ISO game. He was hitting and 1 3-pointers. You saw that and 1 3-pointer he had over 2 people. That was ridiculous.
I didn't even have
But
two. He didn't have
I'm gonna say this right now. Harrison Barnes had a Michael Jordan
This is
season
not
last
the same
season.
shit at all. It's not the same shit.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, okay, Harden's gonna be this guy now off of one game. I can't do that.
I'm not saying he's gonna average 35 a game. No one. I don't think any
No.
of us feel that way. But
That wouldn't be the.
we are simply saying that you said he was washed and
He's
that
washed.
he wasn't the same player. Now defensively, it was nothing. It was a cone. He had some plays where he was like, okay, he's trying. There he is. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Other times it was just guys were blowing past him and that's it. But essentially, I think it's unfair. I think before the season started, before this game, it was unfair. I think now it's like clearly it's unfair because there's no non-top 30 guy that will ever have this kind of game in their lives.
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray will never have that kind of game where
He's
he's
had that
shooting
game.
step back threes and
Oh, not
fucking
step back
dominating.
threes.
No, he's against the Celtics too. This isn't some random fucking Sacramento Kings game. Shout out the Kings. I'm actually high on you, but the Kings. He's not playing the Kings. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't sit there and discredit. Oh yeah, James Harden just had a big game against the Celtics. Fuck it, it's not who he is because that's who he's been most of his career, and now he's just like. he
I
comes
don't
in
believe in
in
his
shape.
hype.
What
Okay.
what hype?
I don't believe in the hype
Of hype of what?
of 35, 8, and 7. Okay, congrats. You had that.
I
You
mean,
had
I'm
your
not-
shine low, bro. But now we gonna see.
See,
We got to see if you're gonna continue that on in the season.
But what I'm saying is it a coincidence that he comes in? He said
It's
he's
not
healthy.
a coincidence though,
He said but I'm saying he's healthy.
for sure.
He comes
He
down
lost
slimmer,
weight.
and that was my discussion with you guys last time we had the episode where I was like, hey, you guys are kind of underrating him. I think he's a lot healthier this season. He might come in, have a better season, could be an MVP dark horse candidate. Not saying that he's an MVP, but you know,
No, he
it's
could.
one
Yeah,
of those performances that like if this continues throughout the season, you know, obviously
For sure.
Joel's gonna have his games where he gets.
if he's averaging 38 and 7, that's obviously
I mean,
MVP.
Obviously, yeah. But I'm saying like if he even gets to 26 a game, 27 a game, 26, 8 and 8 is very in the realm for James Harden.
For sure.
You're gonna sit there and be like, you know, that's a guy. That's a guy. That's
When he
not-
does it,
that's
then
not
I'll
okay,
come out here
for
and
sure.
I'll give him his props.
But are you gonna give him his props for last night? Just one game?
I
Be like,
did.
you know
I
what?
gave him his
Good shit,
props.
bro.
I said ridiculous.
Okay, for sure.
You not hear me? I said
No.
he was shooting step back threes, hitting and ones.
I was just happy. I think vintage Harden is one of the most fun players to watch. Even
For
though
sure he
a
is.
lot of guys, you know, they don't like the fouling and
He's one of the best scorers of all
over-dribbling,
time, literally.
For sure. So I, as a fan of basketball, I was excited to see that. In terms of the actual like, you know, X's and O's of what I saw last night, maybe you guys could chime in, see if you saw the same thing I did. At least for James Harden, for most of that game, there wasn't a lot of rim pressure. There wasn't a lot of getting to the basket. He was
No.
getting stopped at the free throw line a lot. He had a couple floaters. He had a couple layups. Obviously, he's gonna get his layups. But like most of the time, he would just stop, bring it out, and come around and get the ball again, which for me is a little concerning because I want to see him get to the rim more. But we saw last year a lot of times when he got to the rim, he just didn't have any legs under him, couldn't get the ball up. The layups would like rim out or something.
Most of the time I saw him driving in, it was just on pick and roll to Joel Embiid, and it was just jobbing in right to Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
And that pick and roll looks pretty nice.
I mean, it looks good, but I feel like they didn't even go to it that much.
they didn't use it as much as they should. It looked more like the old Houston like offense of like James Harden ISO instead of.
But I feel like
pick and roll
Joel
and-
Embiid, when he's coming off the pick and roll, he's not even like cutting that hard. He's kind of just like walking into his spot.
He doesn't cut that hard.
And like he stands there. He's like, "Yo," I'm like, "Okay, well, you could roll," you know.
But stream one, I'm sure they'll improve on that.
I hope so. One thing
No,
they
for
need
sure.
to improve on, which from last year they didn't. I wrote here in my notes. I said, Philly transition offense and defense is hard to watch because on transition, the defense most of the time was James Harden like, oh, well, there's 3 guys coming at me now. I'm just gonna swipe here, and then there's a fucking layup.
I saw that like at least
For
like
sure.
10 times last night.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And then no one else is getting back. And then on offense, I think it was like 26-2 or some shit at some point in the game on transition offense, where the Philly wasn't getting out and Boston was just running, which credit to Boston. Their pace of play for them was a little bit higher. They're getting out and running. Jaylen Brown had a lot of dunks. In the Celtics camp, I know we're talking about the Sixers with the big story. I guess the Celtics are kind of like, after the Ime Udoka stuff, people were kind of low on them.
For sure.
It showed in our conference standing rankings. I'm pretty encouraged by everything I saw from them. The defense still looks great. Tatum had an MVP-like performance. Could have an MVP-like season coming around if he continues something like that. Last year they started off slow. This year I feel like
because of what they're like AC like most of the season, right?
Yeah, they lost that big game to the Bulls, which was a
fun
fun watch.
10 seed.
What?
At one point last year?
Oh yeah. They were like flirting with the plan. They're like, they're gonna be a playing team. We were shocked, obviously.
They had a lot of injuries though. 'Cause I think Robert Will was out most of the season.
He was out a little bit. I think Marcus Smart was injured a little bit.
Yeah.
JB always has something in and out. Every game. But I'm encouraged. I think Joe Mazzulla, I think his name is. He had a lot of hype coming in that he could kind of still carry that role that Ime had, and they look good, man. I'm
Malcolm Brogdon had a big game off the bench.
I mean, again, that's another big piece. Yeah. Another big piece for them. Malcolm Brogdon was.
That's another 6 man of the year type run right there for him.
Sure. He could definitely have that kind of run, and I'm still worried about the depth going long term into the playoffs. It goes Brogdon, and then maybe Derek White. If everyone's healthy, he's gonna be off the bench.
He's him.
But it's like that's a 7-man rotation that you really trust. Are you gonna trust Blake Griffin in the playoffs? I don't know. I like Blake Griffin, I really do, but he's past his prime. We know that. He's not the same guy. They lost D'Lo to the ACL. But overall, I'm pretty happy for the Celtics. Pretty happy for what I saw. I've also wrote here that Harden dropped Tatum, which is one of your favorite guys. And if he would have made the shot, it would have been hilarious.
Bro, airballed. I don't want to hear that.
He airballed. He had the shimmy, and he airballed.
Yeah, he's not him.
Okay. I wouldn't say he's not him, but that was...
We're not talking about that Marcus Smart or flop.
Well, on the crossover?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He went from like the 3-point line all the way to like the out of bounds.
Like, it was like a 20-foot
that's ridiculous
slide. But it looked amazing on TV. I was like, wow,
sure.
this looks fire. It reminds me of like the Wesley Johnson crossover from back in the day, Harden and the Clippers, and he just like stood there.
This one was worse because he won like slip and slide.
That's the defensive player of the year, quote unquote, as they say, and they gave him the award. Before we move on to the Warriors Lakers game, which is obviously Warriors getting their ring ceremony.
It was a game of Kendrick Nunn though. Okay,
we'll get to it. Real quick, I think Harden tweeted. So I don't know how if you guys saw this. It literally happened like maybe an hour before we started recording on Twitter. Young Thug, don't know why, how. I think he's in prison. Don't know. I'm not sure.
Bro's like he's in prison.
I don't know. Isn't he? He's facing the RICO case, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in prison, but he's on Twitter and he tweeted at James Harden and he said some shit like "Go get you one" or something like that. Go get
probably
you
his
a
management
ring.
team though.
Probably, but they're like, "Oh, go get you a ring," and then James Harden quote tweeted like, "I got you, twin," and like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win the championship." I thought that was pretty great after his first game. He just seems hyped. I think James Harden just seems happy that he's...
Yeah, he has a revenge season right now, bro, after that.
After that, our last episode?
Yeah, he saw me when I said.
I'm sure he watched the episode. James, you watched this. What's up, bro?
I just hope it's not like last year, as soon as he got traded to Philly, that like he bought out with Joe Embiid. They both had like 27 each.
Yeah.
And then it just stops.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like that.
I hope he continues the momentum going into the season, continuing on. They're going to need it, I think, especially if Joel's going to take a lot of games off because, it's just how they manage him and his injuries and his play style. Before we move on, last thing I want to say about this game is Joel's defense was fucking horrendous last night. He couldn't guard anybody. The rim protection was awful. He was jumping for everything on Grant Williams. I think it was a Grant Williams layup attempt that he jumped at, or Marcus Smart, that he just fucking jumped as if
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, and it was like, bro, like, just stay on your feet, brother. You're 7'2", and he's like 6'5". But regardless, fun game. Enjoyed it. Do you have anything else you guys want to add to it? I mean, I'm sure we're just excited to see basketball again. You know what I mean?
For sure. It felt
meaningful
little
basketball.
bit like a playoff game because there was a little back and forth between Marcus Smart and Joel Embiid.
Yep.
The crowd was getting into it. It felt good for the first game.
For sure. And I think TD Garden, as much as we don't, I mean, I'm going to say for myself, I'm not really a big Celtics guy.
I'm the least Celtics guy
right here. You see everything back here. You kind of could tell that.
I'm not a Celtics guy.
This isn't a pro
for
Celtics
sure
panel. But the TD Garden, respectfully, great arena environment for basketball. High intensity at all times. So that was fun. Moving on. Doubleheader, if you want to call it that. It's more like the game and then like a charity case almost for a fucking national TV game. Warriors Lakers. Lakers coming to town. LeBron versus Steph. Of course, it's must-see TV because that's one of the greatest rivalries in the recent NBA history and NBA history in total. Lewis, Matt, I'll let you guys start off. Obviously, shout out the Warriors. Got their rings. They seem pretty happy. We'll get into the pool Draymond stuff a little bit later into the conversation. But I want to talk about just the game, what you guys saw, what you felt coming out of that game from both sides, Warriors, Lakers. What do you think?
The first half, nobody could shoot the ball from 3, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. I think Jordan Poole was like the only person that had like 2 threes in like the first half.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very
it's
slow
because he saw a
start.
baddie in the stands. That's exactly what he did.
I mean, he looked at the ring like it was like the
But then
baddest
after-
bitch in the world.
Then after that, he didn't make a 3. After those 2 threes in the first quarter, he didn't make
Jordan's
a 3.
just a super like energy guy. Like he's like super momentum, super. I mean, he's a spark plug, obviously. But
For
he's just
sure.
like super like if things are going well, it's going well. If it's going bad, it looks awful. It's horrendous.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one could shoot. The Lakers are just.
First,
I mean, it
the
didn't stop, it
Lakers
didn't stop at
offense-
the first half. It was bad. It was 10 for 40 the whole game. The Lakers offense did look stagnant.
it looks horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It looks horrible.
They're just standing.
They just have
around.
no shooters, man. That's exactly what's wrong with the Lakers right now.
They have no depth.
No depth.
Westbrook does not fit in with that team.
For sure not.
I see this team, and we had an episode last week before the top 30 that we didn't get to release because we weren't fucking recording, and we fucked it up. But we did talk about the report of the Buddy Hield, Miles Turner situation where the Indiana was offering that to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook and the 2 picks that they had. And I watched this team, and I'm like, this team could use the fuck out of a Buddy Hield right now.
Hell yeah.
Or a Miles
Yeah.
Turner.
Someone that can shoot the goddamn ball, bro. They can't do it.
I mean, Hield's not a great defender, but Miles Turner's a good defender. You can play him with AD. That's a formidable, front
No,
court.
for sure.
Yeah,
One of the
they-
better front courts in the league.
80 looked
You're
like he
not
didn't lose a step
scoring.
either, bro. His defense was nice.
AD looked really, really well, especially in that first quarter. I think he had like 12 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
14
Yeah, he
around
came
there.
out. He came out with energy. He was like the only Laker coming out with energy.
Yeah, and he
looked really
had some good runs to the rim. I think as the game slowed on, there's moments in the game he kind of settled for some jump shots, some turnaround jumpers, which he didn't shoot very well last year. And he's looking like he's not shooting it well this year either. He didn't shoot any threes. He didn't make any of them.
The whole team doesn't have shooting, man.
No,
I think
it's bad.
LeBron's probably the best shooter and Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah, he went like 1 for 7 or some shit.
Yeah, you want 8 for 5.
Yeah, he was awful.
He can't shoot either.
But listen, I'm not on the Russ hate bandwagon. I think it's kind of corny. I'm not a big hater of anybody really. I kind of just enjoy basketball and just the game will go. Russ has been under criticism fairly because he didn't play that well last year, and if you're in Lakers town and you're on a LeBron team, you're just gonna be magnified times 10.
For sure.
For sure.
But I just think if you call it how you see it, and I think most people should, except for the Lakers front office doesn't want to. I just don't think this team works. And on paper, the star power looks great with Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD. In 2012, that would be the best team in basketball.
For sure.
2014, 2017, now we're talking about the fucking greatest trio of all time. But it's just like, it's not going to work. It's not happening. Not in the modern NBA. Not with how Russell Westbrook is right now. It's not fitting his strengths. So I think you have to pivot. And with that Pacers trade that was on the table, you watch this game and all you could think of is they should have done it. That's just how I
For
feel.
sure.
And it's just like, where do they go from here? Where do you guys see the Lakers? I mean, listen, it's first game. They could turn it around. I believe in LeBron. I think he still had 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists.
He's like pushing 50. He's still doing that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
he's still fucking ridiculous. I mean, we don't. That's why I have him at 8th in my conference standings. Now I'm looking at like, oh, well,
Are they even a playoff team?
I don't
play-in
know.
team?
We don't know. It's just like I want to believe in LeBron, but I'm not sure. Where do you guys think the Lakers could go from here? Dennis Schroeder is out. Is he the answer? I don't fucking think so.
I don't think he's that.
But they have pieces there. If they traded Russ, they still have Patrick Beverly, who I like as a point guard. Plays on the ball,
Hold
off the
on.
ball.
Westbrook passed he came up to the half court, gave the ball to Pat Bev, and he iso'd, bro.
Pat Bev ISO.
Pat
Was it
Bev
the step back?
iso'd.
Was it a step back 3 or some shit that he
I
hit?
think so.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, how is he getting this shot
That's
right now?
there's no way that's the Lakers offense.
You
Bro.
can't, dude. There was a lot of standing around, a lot of no movement.
Westbrook's always in the corner, he doesn't want to drive in, he doesn't want to cut, he's just waiting for the 3.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to play there, bro. That's the thing. I don't think he fits there.
He definitely doesn't fit.
We've
there.
seen 2 Russells already in sports that are not in the good systems, man. We've seen Russell Wilson. We've seen Russell Westbrook.
Good system.
Yeah.
I mean, Westbrook is not in the good system. Wilson, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of football. I can't say, but I haven't heard great things about Russell Wilson this season.
But Westbrook, I don't think he fits, bro. I don't think he should be. I think he should be like in a more
But,
ISO dominant team.
What do they do? You know,
I would trade Russell Westbrook for shooters. You had the Buddy Hield and Miles Turner trade. That's probably
Honestly,
the best package you're gonna see.
But okay, let me ask you a question. Let me be devil's advocate. Do you really want to give up those 2 picks for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner? Is there a guarantee that you're a better team than the Dallas Mavericks with that trade?
Yeah, exactly.
You know
No,
what I mean?
I do see the. I do.
So
see
like,
the
it's like, do they take that risk, make that trade? Because it's like you don't know, and like you're trading.
You
them.
know what you have with Westbrook already. You know, like it's not working out. You might as well just make some changes.
He's on an expiring contract, isn't he?
Yeah, so that's your deal.
I think if they can't move him, they'll just stick with him and just let him right out of the contract. That's probably the best thing that you could do because now you keep your 2 picks.
It can be.
Or okay, let me ask you a question. Is it because I was listening to a lot of Zach Lowe. I'm a big Zach Lowe guy, the Lowe Post. I'm a big fan. And he brought up, I think it was him or his guest. I'm not sure who it was. But they brought up the idea of, would it be a smart thing just to release Russell Westbrook and not even have him on your team? If you can't find a trade that you don't feel suitable, you just release him, and have him go to another team, and you don't really have to work your team around. Okay, we have to fit Russ into this. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because they talked about him coming off the bench, and he didn't seem very keen on it. He got hurt with his hamstring, and he was like, the reason I got hurt is because I came off the bench. That's why I know it's that way because like my routine is fucked up. But I'm like, okay, Russ, we'll give it to you. But is that an option that's realistic for them? Should that be a thing they look at? Just to cut Russ, or do you really think?
But if you cut Russ, don't you have to pay for his salary? Like it's just
But you're gonna pay for his
50
salary
mil.
regardless if you keep him. It's expensive, but I'm saying like
I'd rather just keep him.
For that, you keep him. You don't want to just throw away 50 mil like that. Like if
you're
gonna
gonna
like,
if he plays on the team, you're still paying him, but you don't have to worry about giving him minutes and giving him shots, giving him time.
I just rather if I'm pay 50 mil, I'd rather just at least have him playing.
No, but I do see where you're coming from because you could just release him and sign someone else, at least someone that could fit the team better, another
Not
shooter.
even sign anybody else, but it frees up more of like what you have to do offensively. Now you're just like, okay, we're gonna give AD and LeBron a shot, and hopefully everybody around them works. I don't think so because JTA can't shoot. Lonnie Walker's a streaky guy. He's been a streaky guy his whole career.
Missing one more guy.
There's just not guys on that team.
Kendrick
like,
Nunn. Kendrick Nunn had a good game.
He had a good game. Off the bench, that was pretty much their only guy. That was the only option.
Person that they have off the bench.
I'm telling you, Kendrick Nunn's gonna have a big. He could be big for this Lakers team.
Yeah,
if they actually start him, they utilize
I think
LeBron.
I
and
think
AD.
his role right now as a 6-man guy is the absolute way to play him. To be honest, I just feel like if you play him any other way, like if you play him differently,
you play him starter. He was started for the Heat. And he was doing fine.
But like what the Lakers need, they need scoring off that bench, and he's the only option.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That's why you bring him off the bench, in my opinion. Who knows? Darvin Ham seems like a pretty smart guy. I just don't know if he's smart enough to get himself out of this fucking rut, out of this situation with Russell Westbrook and AD.
I don't know, bro. He has a big mess on his play right now.
For sure. And I have a couple notes, and we're going to get to the Warriors side because, we deserve to talk about them and the NBA champions.
For sure.
Anthony Davis looked great, both sides, especially in the first quarter, like I said. Moving well, layups, long layups. I haven't seen.
I was surprised he didn't get injured off of that.
Paint like that in a while.
Yeah, he looked like a guard on some positions.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm just like, I hope he stays healthy. The game needs AD. The game loves having AD be healthy.
It's a top 5 player, man.
He's an elite player, one of the generational stars of our time, where he was getting drafted, and he was one of the hyped prospects. Lived up to it mostly NBA champion. Hasn't been the same since then, but I hope he's healthy. My boy AD, I hope he stays well and keeps doing his thing. LeBron is still LeBron. Finishing at the rim. He was getting there, and when he got there through contact, it's hard to stop. Still at the age of fucking, 37, 38?
Now he's pushing 50,
he still
bro.
had a slow start, getting that rust off.
Yeah, it's year 20.
He's a robot, man. He had to get the rust off the metal.
Year 20 is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. On the Warriors side, James Wiseman played a big role. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Stephs and the Clays, but one thing we haven't seen last year in their championship run was James Wiseman. He was out for the whole year. And now he's back, and he has some good plays. He has some defensive stops, had a nice offensive rebound where he went up strong with it. He missed the dunk, but he went up strong with it. It's a good sign. He seems confident in his game.
Yeah, I saw a pick and roll that he did that it was with Jordan Poole, was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole has some great passes, too. I think he's an underrated passer, to be honest. I think Jordan Poole's a very underrated
passer. Yeah, when
passer.
Curry went down, he was averaging like 25, like an 8 or something like that?
Some shit.
Yeah, he started going crazy.
I think he's definitely a vital. I've heard people say that he's not worth it for that contract. Whatever. We'll get to the contracts later, but I think Jordan Poole's a great player, a great piece for this roster. But James Wiseman looked great.
The
Obviously,
Warriors are deep, man.
they are deep,
tell you-
and I wanted to mention this because a lot. So again, I was listening to Zach Lowe a lot, and they talked about. I'm not the biggest analytics guy in the world. I like advanced stats, but some analytics get a little fuzzy. They're a little out there. But I don't know if you guys remember seeing the ESPN projections for wins. The Warriors are kind of low. They're like at 44, 45 wins when they release the projections.
Yeah, I feel like ESPN does it to clickbait though.
No, but it's like they have an actual like system that does it, and there's a lot of advanced. I mean, for sure they do, but like there's a lot of advanced stats out there that don't really like the Warriors this year, and they don't like Klay Thompson for whatever reason. I think Klay Thompson's gonna have a decent year, especially coming off an injury.
For sure.
Whole year he played, he's gonna come back and have a good year.
He's not ready.
But they don't like the Warriors in terms of like the projections. They don't like the Warriors because they feel like they're gonna sit a lot of their top guys a lot of the year and just coast into the playoffs and go for a deep playoff run, which makes sense.
That's something I will do though.
For sure. But here, let me raise you this: are we? We sit here and they talked about it a little bit on the ESPN, or not the ESPN, the TNT broadcast, that they have a lot of young talent. The James Wisemans, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole. That's a core of talent to build around.
That's the future right there, man.
You have that behind the Steph and Clay and Draymond. Could they be coming faster to that echelon and being a vital role players for this Warriors team than we all think? And I think if that does happen, it could get very scary. And I think ESPN and all those advanced places are right that there's going to be a lot of sitting for them. And I think Steph Curry might play like 65, 70 games, maybe around there, instead of like the full 82 that I'm sure he could play.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more resting and stuff like that. And Clay won't play back-to-back, et cetera, et cetera. I think if that happens, you have opportunity for Moses Moody, Kuminga, DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, Wiseman, all these guys that
These
are
guys have like a
younger.
starting five for the future.
That's why I'm saying,
It's crazy.
like, I think I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Jonathan Kuminga, especially, who I'm probably the highest on, and I know who obviously Jordan Poole's already kind of risen to his role.
Yeah,
on the
everybody
team.
already knows that he's the future. So
Kuminga's still a little under the radar for most casual fans. I think I wouldn't be shocked if I saw Kuminga or Wiseman playing vital minutes in the playoffs. And I want to hear your takes on it. See if you think if you're following my lead on this. They're warming up these young guys to get a lot of PT this regular season.
for sure.
And when the playoffs come around, we could see a Warriors run of a lifetime.
Honestly, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
Especially like those two, James Wiseman and Kuminga. Especially Jerry Wiseman probably just play less.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wiseman starts towards the end of the season. I think he takes Kevin Looney's spot.
I would say that, but I think Looney's just so
I like
good.
Looney with the Curry.
He's
and
just
Klay.
so good in that
Yeah.
system. But I
If
think if Wiseman's that good,
If
he will.
if he lives up to his potential, I think he starts at the end of the season.
I could
for
see
sure.
it.
Yeah,
But I think
he was
he's
drafted
he's
high
number
for that.
number 1, number 2 pick.
He got number 2.
Yeah, number 2
Yeah.
pick.
If he lives up to that number 2 pick, he's starting at the end of the year.
For
I
sure.
could see it,
I
but
just rather have him off the bench though. Your bench probably insane.
Yeah, I mean, they
No,
haven't
for
really
sure.
had a. I mean, last year's backup big was Bielitsa. He's not on the team anymore. And
That's a
now,
he legend.
okay, I guess. But I think Wiseman is primed to have a big role, even if it's off the bench. If you have Wiseman off your bench, Looney starting for you, and he was a fucking.
Insane.
He looked like one of the better centers in the league last year in the
Yeah.
playoffs. I'm just excited for it. What do you think, Lewis? What do you think about these young cats? Moses Moody, especially, who I like out of Arkansas. He's a guy. He's a guy out there that can shoot the ball,
for
play
sure. I remember
defense.
you telling me in the during the draft that we were watching together.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, like watch out for him. I remember this shit.
Played in Montverde with Cade and Scotty Barnes. And he's very well tied.
No, but this like young core, bro, they could actually like in the future even push for like playoff runs, deep playoff runs. If they could sign, if Curry retires, Clay retires, Draymond leaves, and they sign vital pieces around that team, you could see this is a franchise forever, man. This is crazy.
no. for sure.
This is
For sure.
This is here to stay for the next like 10 years. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And they played great last night. It looked like they haven't missed a beat. The system, the Warriors system was moving around. The ball was moving. Kuminga got some PT. Moody had some PT. They weren't these flashy games, but they're still now they're getting more PT than they did last year. Obviously, they lost a couple pieces like Gary Payton II. JTA was out there. Damian Lee's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, but they're now relying on the younger pieces to evolve. That's what they want to do.
I think is one of those positives if you're a Warriors fan, or if you're looking to, see Steph Curry win a championship, which I think would be so cool to see as NBA fans, just see that history of a 5-time championship run with that dynasty. That's
They could push for more, man.
I could arguably be the second best dynasty of all time. Spurs are up there. The Celtics, they played in the 60s.
For sure.
You got the modern day Warriors. And so the game wasn't honestly that bad in the first half. It wasn't that bad. They were kind of lingering, but the Warriors' third quarter massacres are back. The third quarters where they kill everybody and they just it's over. The floodgates open up and it's just done. They're back. NBA's back. So are those things. It's just what it is. Quickly, let's talk about the surrounding stories around these games. Draymond played. Again, I mentioned we had a recording. Didn't release it. Wasn't recording.
He was talking for no reason, bro.
No, we were talking to that wall right there in front of us, and no one heard us. But Draymond did play. When we talked about the Draymond Jordan Poole fight, which has been covered, endlessly. We all know what happened. We all saw the video. I figured they'd get suspended. Woj reports that Draymond's not going to be suspended. He took some time away from the team. Wasn't suspended. And a big reason was, the ring ceremony. They wanted him to be a part of it. How do you guys feel that there was no suspension given to Draymond? Obviously, when we talked about it, I was probably the most pro-suspension just because I think it's such an insane fucking thing to do, to punch your teammate fucking clean like that and he's knocked out.
I get you.
But, Lewis, what do you think is,
I saw a tweet from someone. I don't know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was it Sherman or Brandon Marshall? They came out and they talked about Draymond and Jordan Poole, how they played today. And they're like, bro, brothers fight all the time. Even behind the scenes, you see teams getting fights all the time, and they never talk about that. This one,
That's what I said last
this
time.
got leaked.
I feel like that's more often.
Yeah, it's more often, and I feel like they probably after that they talked it out. You get me? And if the teams already know that they talked it out, and they have no beef over it, why are you gonna suspend them? You get me?
I agree. Only thing that I would say is, again, listening to a lot of Zach Lowe. Shout out Zach Lowe. A lot of the discussion around the league, and even with Kevin Durant, he had an interview on his podcast with the Eachother's. They asked him about the Draymond Jordan Poole fight, and he said, those things just don't happen. He was kind of shocked that happened. Most people say that those things don't happen, especially to that magnitude at least. There's always pushing and shoving and talking. That's just a part of the sport.
Yeah, it's probably because basketball is different, but like in football and all those sports, man, there's fights all the time.
I'm sure, but again, the NBA culture has never seen anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, we always hear those stories of like legend, like, oh, Jordan did this, Kobe did this, and I'm sure they did do those things, but we don't have videos of those things
For sure.
So when we saw the video of the Draymond Jordan Poole fight, it hits differently. But essentially, when Draymond took the time away, apparently it was actually the players were in charge, has a say into when he could come back. That wasn't like widely reported, but that was the case for most of it, according to sources out there, Zach Lowe's side, all those things.
Yeah.
That it was a player's thing. So I think that makes me feel a little bit better about the situation in terms of like the scope of it. The players decided that Draymond was ready to come back, and they let him back into the locker room. That's a big deal. Do I think Jordan Poole and Draymond are squashed? I don't know. Matt, do you think there's any room for them to move on from it? I mean, obviously they had a great game. It's one game. It's a long season.
I mean, I feel like they're good. Obviously, they're not going to be like great, like probably how they were. Like, obviously, you get punched in the face and the whole world sees it. I'm not going to see you the same as that way, but like, they're like, all right, like, we're in this together. Let's we're playing basketball together. Let's do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not suspension, but like that time away was kind of like the player suspension. He just took that like away, like let me do it for the team, and they had a pick and roll yesterday, man.
Jordan Poole did it with
they had a little pick and roll, like the whole world is watching. They look good, man. I don't think it's too big of it. I think it's now like we're moving past it now.
Yeah, I mean, winning will cure everything, obviously, and I think if there's any organization that it would happen to that they could fix it, it would be the Warriors, just because they've been the standard.
Definitely not the Hornets.
Definitely not the Hornets.
Definitely not the Hornets.
James
They need a 30 for 30 in that one, bro.
James Bouknight gets hit with a DOI. TMZ released a picture today that he's in his car slumped. I don't know if you saw this picture.
I did see it.
He's in his car just fucking passed out with a bag of Doritos and a gun on his lap. And I like James Bouknight, man. Out of UConn, 2021 draft. I was high on James Bouknight is a great pick. LaMelo, Bouknight, that's a good score. And I don't know. I don't even know what's happening with that roster.
The jail time Hornets. I don't know.
It's-
But it got leaked.
Call
Like
it.
his picture got leaked.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
on
out there.
Twitter.
It's on TMZ.
What's up with TMZ, man? TMZ is just leaking
I
everybody's
mean, they
things,
get it
man.
all. They do get it all. Respect, but like also it's sometimes a little much, but
It's a
respect.
little bit too much, but
It's
yeah.
especially like during like some of the craziest shit that happened, like,
So
like the Kobe stuff. That was
yeah,
like,
that
it
was a
out of-
reach.
It was out of pocket.
That
It
was a reach,
crazy.
man.
But still, yeah, the Hornets need to get that shit together because I mean maybe it's just like their big plan, their big scheme. Wembanyama is the big
So
scheme.
what happened with Miles Bridges? Wasn't his court date for October 17th?
I don't know the exact story. I mean, I know what happened to him.
Because I know they kept extending the court date for Miles Bridges, but
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I have no clue, no updates on that story. Don't know. I don't.
because
follow
if he
it,
comes
you know,
back,
honestly.
that like he's a vital piece for the Hornets.
He's a vital piece, but I don't know. Like, would the NBA put a suspension on him? Do you think, oh, he can't play until
That's
this
exactly
time?
what I was thinking. Like,
You know, like
if
a
he
40
beats that case, are you gonna get a 40-game suspension? How you said, probably.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, okay, I'm over the case. Let's hoop. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If again that happens, now I'm really fucking shocked. I was wrong about the
No,
Draymond
yeah.
thing. That he gets suspended. Now he comes back, just plays a game. I don't know. But back to the Warriors. Sorry, Hornets fans, that we just shitted on you. I mean, there's no, actually, you guys don't exist. Sorry. But now with that fight, we saw Jordan Poole get an extension, $140 million over 4 years, similar to the Tyler Hero extension, $130 over 4
Yeah.
years. Andrew Wiggins got an extension, I believe. I have the numbers here. I think it was like $109 million over 4 years. So pretty good value for Andrew Wiggins, if you ask me. A lot of other guys got extended. We're going to talk about the Warriors, especially because there's a big implication on these extensions. But again, Hero, 4 year, $130 million. I'll get into what you really think that compared to the Poole thing is. We have DeAndre Hunter got extended, Brandon Clark, KPJ, and Narcia Little were the big ones. A lot of the 2019 class got extended
Yeah.
before their last rookie contract year. But the Warriors, the big implications, the Warriors extend Andrew Wiggins, extend Jordan Poole. There's a guy on that team who doesn't get an extension, doesn't get paid at all. That's Draymond Green, obviously the guy who threw the punch and the punchee got extended. The puncher did not get extended. But it has financial implications because if the Warriors do pay Draymond Green, they'd be paying upwards of $500 million for the team next year, which is fucking beyond a record
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
team's payroll. Now that must mean either A, they're not going to pay him, and they're going to let him walk in free agency. B, they're going to trade him before the season. I think that's not before the season ends. I don't think that's in the cards.
I don't think they'll trade him.
But I think it's very likely that we could see the last year Draymond Green on the Warriors, which seems like a fucking.
It's weird.
It's weird, but this.
But
could
it's
be
probably
their,
the best case for
this
them.
could be their last dance.
Yeah.
And I just want to get your takes on it. See what you guys think. How you guys feel about potentially seeing the end of the Warriors dynasty as we know it.
Honestly, he's a Laker nerd too.
A Laker.
He's a Laker.
I could see it, to be honest. I feel like there's any other place he's gonna go.
He got up from the bench just to clap up LeBron mid game, bro.
Yeah, he's a bull.
You saw what Iggy was doing on the bench when he did that?
What?
You saw what Iggy was doing on the bench when he did that?
Nah, I didn't see it. I didn't see AD.
I can't do the. I'm not gonna do the action. But if you go back and if people have seen,
I'll watch it after when we're done.
It's pretty hilarious. But Draymond obviously has been vocal, very vocal, maybe too vocal about how much he appreciates and loves LeBron. I don't think it's that crazy, but people just tease him about it.
He really vocal about DeRozan though too, man. So
I mean, he's a love shower. He shows love. He has respect for a lot of guys around the league.
Hey, with that new media thing that he has,
Yeah, he's setting a new standard.
gives everybody their flowers.
It could be worse. He could be doing the Skip Bayless route. He could be like, fuck all these dudes. But, it's not like that right now. But Lewis, your thoughts on number one, the Warriors not extending Draymond, and actually for both of you, do you guys feel like the contracts they gave to Poole and Wiggins were they worth it? Did they overpay for that core? What do you think?
I think they didn't overpay for Poole. You're locking in your future guys and you're locking in your championship team. That's what you need to do. You need to push for that because if you let them walk or anything, you mess them up with the pay and they don't like it. They walk away. Fucked. You feel me? Because that's your championship team. You need to bring back your pieces. Now, not extending Draymond, that's your leader, man. And I think you gotta lock him in.
He's low-key your main point guard too, to be honest, the way he plays.
Yeah.
You have to lock him in, but if you're not high on him because of what he did with Jordan Poole and he messed up the locker room, then yeah, let him walk, man. That's on the Warriors. I don't know what they want to do.
Matt?
Bro, there's a Drake lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm just change up the names.
Go ahead.
Poole made millions.
Yep.
Wiggins made millions.
Mm-hmm.
Jay would tell you if he wasn't in his feelings.
Facts. It's bad. It's Draymond didn't. I think number one, I think it's a big deal about the whole what he did. I'm sure that's
For sure.
It's almost seems like Draymond does everything at the worst timing. When KD's leaving, he does the shit with KD, and KD's gone,
sure.
and then now he punches Jordan Poole. Also, I think Draymond's gonna ask for a lot of money, and to be honest, it's really slow. He did a lot for that franchise, a lot for that roster.
He deserves it because he is their defensive anchor, and he is their.
He's been the heart
playmaker.
of that team.
He sets up Clay and Curry.
Yeah, he's the leader of that team, bro.
To be honest, yeah,
He's
been the heart. He's been the leader of that team, the heart of that team for almost a decade now.
For sure.
So he does deserve his bag. Now the Warriors not paying him. He's trying to be a Laker.
I think
A bull.
I like the Bulls. But also they don't.
He wants to play
They
with
probably
LeBron.
don't believe in his ability going forward. And guys.
It also makes sense because he's also getting to his mid 30s.
Slowing down. His defense is still there. Obviously, his playmaking is still there. But his offense has come down to absolute zero at this point.
For sure.
He's barely making layups, barely making floaters.
Maybe they're high on Kuminga. Maybe they want to
And
use
I
Kuminga.
think that's what I'm saying. I think the young
That's the
guys
route
are going to
that
come
they will have
faster
to
than
go.
people think.
Because his defense is good and he has more offense than Draymond, so he
For
might
sure.
he might even fit more. Like he even fit better in that team.
And
That's
I think
part of it.
that's why I say it could be coming sooner than we think, and I think the young guys are coming around quicker. But yeah, so I think Draymond and the Warriors, if it is the last year, I'm ready to embrace it almost and appreciate what we just watched for the last 8 or 9 years of dominance. And I think it's special. And I think it's something that I'm probably going to be tuning into a lot more Warriors games, seeing a lot more Warriors games because we just don't know. Is there a world where Draymond gets an extension at a certain price and he comes back? Of course, I think so.
Of course. Yeah.
And especially if the Warriors win another championship this year. Well, you could see both ways. If they win the championship, they're like, okay, we did it. We won the championship. We're good. Draymond, you can go. We'll have the young guys, and hopefully we win with them. Or they say, we won the championship. Draymond, come back. Now we want you to keep going.
Yeah, it could work both ways. It could literally be like the last dance.
It could be, and that's the sad part about it because that's probably the biggest part of our basketball growing up is we were watching the Lakers and LeBron and the Warriors. We were not watching the Lakers for most of that time with D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle.
Yeah, we were watching Heat dominance.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Heat dominance. I gotta respect the Heat to dominate for a couple years there. But moving on, great first day. I was pretty happy with it. I'm excited for tonight. Tonight's slate is really big, really big. As we know, after the first opening nights, then we have a whole bunch of teams just playing, just fucking getting their games in.
For sure.
Any quick thoughts on the extensions that we had everywhere else? Brandon Clark, DeAndre Hunter, KPJ, Nasir Little. Tyler Hero did get a little bit of shit because of the whole Jordan Poole shit. The whole Jordan Poole got paid this. And
Honestly, I'm okay with Tyler Hero's contracts.
I mean, I would be too. I think
they're similar players. They got similar contracts. I'm cool with it. I think it's good. The Heat locked in on him.
I think
right.
people think about the Jordan Poole one less. I think Hero got a lot more flack because number one, Hero's easier to hate on. He's been easy to hate on for a long time.
For sure.
But also Poole has proven that you can win a championship with Poole on your team, and I mean obviously he's not the main guy. Hero has a bigger role on the Heat than Poole
But I
does.
feel like if they switch spots, it'll be the same thing.
No, I don't think so at all.
It'll be the same thing.
I don't know.
The playmaker that Jordan Poole is, the shooter.
Hero.
All right, but Hero's an underrated playmaker.
I think he's good, but he's not
good
as good as
playmaker.
Jordan Poole.
I'm
He's
not
not
saying he's good as Jordan Poole, but he's underrated.
Like if Jordan Poole was on the Heat, that Heat team would be diffy.
I think we're still on the same thing. Like
Nah.
they're
I
so
don't think
similar
it's, I don't think
players.
it's that different, but I think
It's not.
Bro.
I think he don't win a championship.
I think
literally
we
think
saw Jordan Poole go 25-8 with Curry down. You get that in the Heat. That team's nice.
Hero was balling out for a lot of the
Hero
season
did
last
not put a 25-8 as a starter though.
year. I mean, but he barely started. Like he wasn't even like that. He had I think he started like that many games at all.
And even he gets started. He gets
I don't
started.
think so.
Like maybe he started like a couple like 10, 12 maybe.
Maybe less.
Yeah, because they threw him into the bench automatically because that's what was happening. He's not a good starter. He's more of a spark plug. That's exactly what they need him. They
But I
started
think he
Kendrick
started
Nunn over.
now because he evolved as a player.
He's been talking about he wants to start. He's like, oh, I'm gonna start.
He started last preseason game.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna start today. Honestly,
I don't even want to think about tonight, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, but catches out there. That's
But
awesome.
I think how they have $10 million difference between their contracts.
it's fine.
I feel like that's exactly how
That's
where
how it
the
should
gap is at. Like $10 million over 4 years, which is like 2.5 over. I feel like that's where the gap is at. I think it's not that bad. Shout out KPJ. Almost cut out of the. People thought he was gonna be out of the league.
Yeah.
Got cut out of the Cleveland situation. Got to Houston. Steven Silas seems to take him under his wing.
That's
Shout
my
out
fantasy
KPJ.
guy right there, man.
Yeah, you fucking finesse in that trade. So tonight, let's look forward to tonight. It's a big night, a lot of great games.
Hold on. That Brandon Clark contract.
It's valid. I like it.
I like it.
I think it's valid. He's a really good spark plug off that team.
No, I think, especially now that he's gonna be starting for the first couple months, it's gonna be amazing.
I already know who's starting though. 'Cause I think it's Steven Adams.
I think it's Steven Adams and Aldama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aldama.
he's not gonna play the 4.
I mean, he's gonna play probably out the bench 6-man role.
Oh, okay.
Which is
I'd rather do that. He's always been
traded
like that. He's a good spark plug.
That's why he traded him. He's like, it's a good trade. It's bullshit. He just finessed. Juan, if you're watching this, you fucking suck. What the fuck was that?
Thank you for KPJ, man.
So tonight's lineup features a big game between the panel. I was gonna come on here and be like, let's make a wager on it. Bulls Heat. Let's talk about it.
I saw what happened. I was like, all right.
It's
fine if you don't want to do it.
And where we're at, we obviously we're live from Miami.
I still got DeRozan.
DeRozan
Breaking the record for opening night points for a
You
Bull.
know Jordan played on this team, right?
Huh?
You know Jordan.
What was his record for
I
opening
actually
night?
don't know, but I'm sure it's pretty high. There's no way it's like 30 points.
He's not strong more than 30 points.
There's no way.
He's not strong more than
Keep up with the topic, but I'm gonna look this up. But I think he gonna break it.
Where we're at right now in Miami, we record from Miami, or we're live from Miami. As you can see, aliens in Miami. Shout out to them. It's gloomy outside. It's gloomy. It's a little gray. It's cold. It's windy. It's a little windy city right now.
It's not cold.
It's like chilly. It's pretty chilly
I know
outside.
we live in Miami, but like 70 degrees is not cold.
Like, okay, I just got my haircut, as you can see.
It feels nice.
It's flowing through my head. It's like cold. It's like nice. I woke up today.
It is trying to crazy that the windy city.
It's a little Chicago weather out here. I'm not gonna lie, but let's. I woke up today excited because tonight we're all gonna be in the FTX arena to watch the Heat and the Bulls opening night for both of them. Home opener for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Just opener of the season for us. I'm like, okay, my boy Zach, DeMar, my boys against your boys, and we can have fun with it, a little banter. But then I get the worst news I've received in a while. Okay, Zach LaVine is out tonight, not playing.
And for the next game, probably.
Yeah, and for the next game. Apparently, he's going to be in our home opener against Cleveland, which we're going to get fucking dogged that game. I just know it with that team. He won't be there for Washington. But I don't think we need him for Washington.
No, you don't.
But tonight, shout out Washington. And before we get blown up by fucking 20. But tonight, it's the Heat Bulls. And there's no Zach LaVine. And I was going to say, if the Heat win, just do this. The Bulls win, let's do that.
We just do it for next game.
Or we could tweak it a little bit if you want. I'm going to bounce this idea off you, and you tell me if you like it, okay?
Go ahead.
So instead of playing the win or lose game, if the Heat win or the Bulls lose, because I think the Bulls are more likely to lose than the Heat than they were, 24 hours ago. So let's do this. Why don't we do a point differential thing? Or like a point thing. So like if the Heat beat the Bulls by at least this, it goes to you.
What's your number?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't want to just throw a number out there because we could easily lose by fucking 35. Don't know. But I don't think it's going to happen. But okay, let's set it at a fair point. And so
by 10, I think is a fair point.
10?
10.
What do you think?
I
about
don't 10.
10. So if
I think Bulls win by 10.
If the Heat win by 10 plus, you win the wager.
Okay.
If the Bulls lose by 10 or less, so on 10 is a push.
Okay.
So we won't do anything, or you want to give it to the Bulls? If it's exactly 10.
I'll give it to the Bulls.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll be fair.
So 10, if the Bulls lose by 10 or less, I win the wager. If the Bulls lose by 11 or more, you win the wager. Now the wager is, we record this episode, we have a visual podcast. I don't really wear a lot of this fucking gear, because fuck this team behind me. But I'm willing to say, if the Bulls lose by 11 or more, I'll come on here with a Miami Heat t-shirt. Specifically a Tyler Hero t-shirt.
That's crazy.
I do like Tyler Hero, but I have a Tyler Hero t-shirt.
And
the bucket hat, because we do get free bucket hats tonight at the game. Shout out FTX, I like free shit. But if the Bulls lose by 10 or less, or they win, which would be great. I don't know. Kobe White, shout out you. You come on here, speaking of, with a Kobe White t-shirt on.
I gotta wear that shit.
What do you mean you gotta wear that shit? Yeah, you gotta wear that shit. And is that a fair?
Kobe White?
Kobe White. Chicago
you're wearing Tyler Hero.
0. Okay, we're both two guards from 2019 class. One's a little bit
It
better.
was like DeRozan or some shit. Alright, fine.
No, Kobe
Damn,
White.
DeRozan though. I like that. I like
Because
that.
like if the Bulls lose by 10 or less, like, you deserve to wear Kobe White. Because it's probably gonna be the reason why you guys don't win by 10 or less. Or yeah, you know.
But Pod, I couldn't find the
Okay.
record for the opening
As
night
you
for the
see,
Bulls.
we shake on it. It's a deal.
Heat
Next-
Nation, let's ride.
Okay, you can't keep saying that. But so I'm excited for tonight.
I couldn't find the record for the opening night,
You
but
didn't find it?
I couldn't find it.
Okay.
But it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
We're
well,
going.
listen, if he hits it, you'll know that he hit it.
Yeah.
For sure. They'll talk about it.
For sure.
The big slate tonight. I have all the games listed on my phone, and I want to go through it because I want to do something a little fun. I think we should create a parlay because like we're recording today, I guess Wednesday morning. So tonight we have a whole bunch, like
For sure.
9, 12 games. We're not gonna do all games. I think if we do a 12-leg parlay, that'll be fucking ridiculous.
Now
We
you're
might
just
not
asking
win
to lose, man.
it. So how many?
Now I'll hit it. Don't worry.
How
I'm
many?
that guy.
So we'll go through all the lists. We'll give our predictions, just generally quick fire. Who wins, who loses,
For sure.
and then after we can kind of break down which teams we want to bet on, and then we'll discuss, and then
Alright.
we could just settle on it. Okay.
Okay.
Real quick. Here's the lineup, and you tell me who you think's gonna win or gonna lose, and if you guys disagree, tell me. It's real quickly. Tell me why. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Orlando Magic at the Pistons. I got the Magic.
I got the Pistons.
I got Pistons.
I listen. The Pistons again, it's preseason, but Cade Cunningham, my boy, he wasn't shooting the ball very well. The offense looks pretty bad. I think the Magic are just a better team in terms of depth of talent right now, especially with no. Alec Burks might be playing. I don't know if he's hurt, but we'll see. We'll go back to it later. Wizards at Pacers.
Oh, Wizards.
Wizards. I got Wizards as well.
Wizards. Yeah, for sure.
Rockets at Hawks. Hawks by a
Hawks.
fucking landslide.
Hawks.
The Rockets take.
I think the Rockets
You want to
take
say Rockets?
I got JG and KPJ putting up some crazy numbers today. Especially that
because
I feel like
they're on your fantasy team.
No, not just because of that. Do you see
Nah,
JG in the
that's
preseason, man? He was
balling.
like
one of the top scorers in the preseason.
For sure. If he keeps up that streak, that team's nice.
The game that I'm probably second most excited for, because I'm be at the first one. Pelicans at Nets.
Zion.
Actually, I think it's Nets at Pelicans. Actually, sorry.
Nets, I put okay.
I think it's Nets at Pelicans.
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 Zion season.
Honestly, I'm gonna make sure that it's Pelicans at Nets or vice versa. Oh no, they're in Brooklyn. They're in Brooklyn, so they're playing in Brooklyn. So does that change anything for you? Or you still got the Pelicans?
It makes it closer.
I
Well,
have
I'm also-
the Pelicans as well, to be honest.
Pelicans.
Only because I think we don't have. Well, the Nets don't have Joe Harris and Seth Curry right now. They're hurt, and that's a big deal to their offense. It could get a little stagnant, but also you have KD and Kyrie, and anything could happen.
Yeah.
I'm
Make it
pulling
easy.
for the Nets, but if I have to put money on it, which we were gonna put money on it, I have the Pelicans.
For sure.
So all three of us got Pelicans.
Yeah.
Okay, Bulls at Heat. I got the Bulls. Fuck out of here. I got the
Heat.
Bulls. I'm riding with my Bulls all day. Don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's how you feeling?
I'm going Bulls.
Alright.
Fuck
for
yeah,
sure.
let's go. I don't
For
care if
sure.
our starting.
I'm a
lineup-
DeRozan fan over a Heat fan, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. So
I don't
I'm
give
taking-
a
I'm
fuck
taking my
if
Bulls.
it's Iota Sumu, Kobe White, Malcolm Hill, Patrick Williams, and Tony Bradley. I'm picking my Bulls over anybody. I don't
For
give a
sure.
Fuck. I don't give a fuck. Okay, next. Cavs at Raptors. This is a tough one. Cavs at Raptors.
Cavs. Put another round.
Cavs.
I got Cavs as well, but in a close one,
Spider.
in a dogfight. The ESPN game tonight, for some fucking reason, Knicks at Grizzlies. It's not even in Madison Square Garden. Don't get it. I got Grizzlies though.
Grizzlies by a fucking long
Actually, they
shot.
don't have-
I ain't gonna lie.
Grizzlies.
Okay, Grizzlies at home. Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
For sure.
Thunder at Timberwolves. I mean, just stop it.
Stop,
Timberwolves. Just stop. So now we have the absolute no one's watching. Close your eyes. Holy shit! Turn around. Hornets at Spurs.
Wow.
I got the Spurs.
Spurs.
Gordon Hayward just balled out for me. I have you on my fantasy.
Devin Vassell, baby.
Hornets or Spurs?
Spurs.
Okay. Nuggets at Jazz should be kind of fun for nobody.
That's fun. Yeah. For the Nuggets.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Nuggets.
And for me, Jokic
I
gonna
got
put
the
up his.
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
And then
Nah, man.
the-
Laurie Marketing gonna go out there.
the other
he
ESPN
gonna stun
game-
everybody.
Stop.
the other ESPN game that we got tonight is your MVP pick. Luka Doncic walks back
For sure.
into the place where
That's a
he
fun game.
where he
bro.
broke
Luka.
hearts,
That's a
where he
fun
killed
game.
souls into the Phoenix Arena. Mavs Suns tonight.
Everybody heard my comparison last podcast. I ain't gonna say it here again.
I got the Mavs tonight. What about you?
Who was it against again?
The
The
Suns.
Oh, Mavs for sure.
I'm going Luka, bro.
They're gonna get
Oh,
scared. The fears are gonna come out, and they have Blazers Kings. I got the Kings.
Blazers.
Routines.
Go Kings. Okay.
Routines.
So now that we have our general thoughts out there, we'll look back. I'll look back and see if who got the most right, who got the most wrong, just to see how for funsies. Let's open up. I'm opening up my the gambling site right now to create a parlay, and I think we should pick. What do you want to do? 4 or 5 teams? What are we thinking?
I picked 5 teams.
I'm fine with 5 teams.
5 teams. Okay, a 5-team parlay. I did put some because I loaded in the my account right with crypto, and they gave me a crypto bonus.
We got the crypto guy here, man. That's crazy.
I literally my first
Bitcoin
time ever,
investor.
my first time ever buying it. And I put some bets out there, and I just want you guys. I didn't think about doing this, but actually now that I have it here, I actually want to hear what you guys think about some of my bets.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you the odds. Okay, so again, I loaded up like $70, and they gave me like $76 extra, so I had like 140 to play with.
Oh, that's how you feel it.
Yeah, right now in the account we have $100 to play with. So the goal is with everything
go
that
all
we
in.
do. No.
Yes.
Stop. This is why we can't gamble with it.
Go all in.
I think what we should do is every episode, right, that we have an episode where games are played on the night before,
For sure.
the same night. We'll make a parlay on it, and let's see how far we can take it. The goal is 1,000. If we get to 1,000, holy shit! But we're gonna start small.
Lobster and steak on those.
No bullshit.
That sounds good.
No bullshit.
All
So,
net sponsored.
tell me what you guys think about these
We
bets.
fly out a fan to Miami.
So the first bet I made, fly out a fan.
To Miami with the earnings.
Are we doing a fuck a fan contest?
Yeah.
What? Whoa,
Hey,
my
yo.
bad, my bad. First bet I put $10 on this plus 600 outright. The Warriors to win a championship. So $10 for $60 win. What do we feel about that?
Warriors to win.
Warriors to win a championship outright for $10, $60 to win.
I'll do the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
They're the favorites at plus 600, so it's still pretty open field. What do you think? Yeah, decent.
Warriors to win the finals?
Plus
I
600.
put the Bulls, man.
$10. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I got you the Warriors.
And then I doubled down on my boy for the MVP pick, KD, outright, plus 870. So $10, $87 to win
For KD?
for KD the MVP.
No, Luka.
I thought it was pretty good odds.
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna say Ben Simmons. When
What's
you said
Luka's
my
odds?
guy. I was
I think
bro,
he's like
that's-
plus 300. Some shit. He's his favorite. So he's like plus 400, I think, around there. So it's like 10 for 40, put 100, $400.
Sure.
I mean, it's decent. But I think I just took a chance on KD, $87 to win. That's pretty decent, in my opinion. I took a chance on my boy, my actual boy, Ben Simmons.
That's what I
DPOY.
thought you were gonna say.
DPOY, he's plus 2,000 to win the award. I was like, that's pretty fucking good odds.
For
Put
sure.
$5 to win 100. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
The favorite is actually Rudy Gobert and Bam Adebayo.
I
Pretty
thought you were
close.
saying Bam.
Pretty close. He's the second one. It's like 30 points off, but they're definitely the best. Another bet I made, plus 1,300, outright. Sixers win a championship. $9 for a $118 win. I like it. I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I like the Sixers. I like the bet. I liked it. I just did it.
What is it for the Celtics?
I don't know. I'll look at it right now though. I'll
Okay.
pull it up. Actually, I think it's over now because the season started. It's just our bookie is not the best.
Yeah.
So here's something that I found a lot of value in. So like, there's a lot of when you bet, you want to have the best odds and the best odds of it happening, and also the best odds of making money.
For sure.
The sneaky best one to bet on, the best award is Coach of the Year, because like it's like throwing darts at a board. The highest odds are Chris Finch from Minnesota with plus 800. That's the highest odds. Like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, it is.
So I like that bet. So I put Chris Finch $5 to win 44. Decent.
Okay.
Then I took a good chance on one of my guys. The second highest odds is Tyronn Lue. They don't want to take Tyronn Lue because I'm not sure about the Clippers situation with the games played, all that stuff. I'm not sure how it'll go.
For sure.
So I took JB Bickerstaff for the Cavaliers. So the Timberwolves and the Cavs, the guys who got the Jazz guys.
Yeah.
$5 on the JB Bickerstaff to 70. I thought that was a pretty good bet. So now we're at 400. I'm gonna open up the sports book right now. I'll tell you some of the odds. I already know who I like. My first parlay pick, I like the first leg.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should bet on the Kings. Tell me what you think. The Kings are at minus 147, so they're still, we could go with the point spreads as well. I don't know how you guys feel about point spreads. They're a little shaky sometimes, but
Wait, is it by teams though, or is it like
we're gonna do by teams. But if we want to do point spreads here and there,
we have to add the Nuggets at least? Because
Okay, so like
that
a
would
favorite.
like solidify.
Yeah, they're at negative 285.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. Do you want to take the point spread on the Nuggets, where they have to win by at least 8 points for it to hit? They have to beat the Jazz by 8 points. Do we believe the Nuggets can beat the Jazz by
I
8
do
points?
believe, but like,
And it's negative 110. So, like, it's good odds.
okay, yeah.
Colin Sexton will have to drop like 50 for that. Like,
I just don't think they have any chance to get the Nuggets. Like, no chance.
No.
But it's also day one.
It's also day one. You never know if Colin Sexton comes out and
You
puts
just
up.
never know what happens.
I just Joker like.
Okay, let's do
I'd
the money line and see.
Yeah,
what
I'd
the
rather
odds
go
are.
money line.
Let's
Yeah.
see what the odds are. So we got the Nuggets in there. Spurs Hornets is a fucking toss up. So I'm not picking that. Timberwolves are favored by 10 points. See, like the Timberwolves are favored by 10 points, and then the Nuggets are favored by 9, or like 8. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. The Thunder are going to be decent. They always compete hard.
For sure.
The Grizzlies are the favorites at negative 181. I'm not that confident in them though, to be honest. I'm not sure. The
Grizzlies against who against?
Against the Knicks.
You're not confident,
The Knicks play hard, man.
but it's at the Grizzlies.
It
You
is
think, like there'll be like a Jalen Brunson here.
It could be, yeah.
Show out here. Nah.
The Heat are also favored heavy.
I think we should do the Heat.
What do you mean? I'm not picking the Heat on this. There's no chance I'm picking the Heat on this.
You have to, bro.
Okay, look, the Nets are favored tonight.
The Heat are.
Fuck off.
It's a clear.
Honestly, out of the teams that are facing bad teams like the Hawks and the Rockets and the Timberwolves and the Thunder, the Nuggets have the best odds. Like the highest odds type shit to lose,
Yeah.
which is kind of psychotic. The Mavericks are the underdogs against the Suns.
Mavericks.
Do we want to bet on the Mavericks?
I'm seeing Mavs.
I'm with you guys, honestly. I could see the Suns winning though.
I do see the Sun. I
I
could
just
see
see
the
the
Suns
Suns
winning for
winning.
Fuck,
revenge.
this is so hard. It's gonna be so
like-
toxic.
I feel like Luther just owns them now.
I think so too.
Yeah, but
I like
Devin
the
Booker
Kings,
and
dude.
CP could like have like revenge right
don't-
now, bro. I'm telling you.
I like the Kings, bro. The Kings are at negative 147.
Against the Blazers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what happens if Simons and Dame, all these guys?
Bro, they're not winning. I promise you, they're not winning this game. Like if I had to put a
I'll-
guarantee, the Kings are winning tonight against the Blazers. I guarantee it.
Clip this.
I guarantee.
I don't trust the Kings enough.
I don't trust the Kings
Bro,
enough
it's
either.
a different year. It's a new year. I promise you.
I
it's a
trust
new year.
Dame more than anybody in the
It's
Kings.
a new year. It's a new year. I
Yeah,
promise.
it's a new year for Damian Lillard.
Look, it's our first week betting. Let's take a chance. Let's see what
All
Adrian's got.
all right, let's go.
Adrian's got up his
I'll go
sleeve.
with you. I'll go with
Keegan
you.
Murray, let's do it. Let's ride.
He's not playing.
He's not playing?
He's
He's
out
not
tonight.
Bro,
Alright, Blazers.
For Keegan, we haven't even seen him play NBA basketball.
that
yet.
was
Bro, he was
that's
pretty
like a
nasty in
team.
the preseason.
That's a team that like I have like. Feel me?
I think the Kings. Sabonis is gonna fucking tear up the Blazers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Who's gonna guard De'Aaron Fox on that team?
Nurkic.
Who's guarding De'Aaron
Nurkic.
Fox?
Damian Lillard.
I don't give a fuck.
What?
He ain't gonna do shit. I promise you, he's not doing shit tonight.
Josh Hart, Nazir Little. Come on, man.
We are good.
What? Nah, man. Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant could fucking suck 3 cocks. Anyways, next. So now we have 3 guys.
Clip this because when the Blazers clapped the Kings today,
The Kings are winning. I guarantee the Kings are winning. 20 seconds later, it's just I'm gonna put the scoreboard up. That's it. It's over. So now we have 3 guys. We're at plus 478. I don't want to. Okay, so do we want to bet on the Pelicans and Nets? Is it too close to call?
Yeah, it's too close. I wouldn't do it.
Because everything else we can pick like the favorites and be like Atlanta, right? The Rockets are plus 375.
Clip this. Rockets winning today.
I don't know. Are you gonna bet on that though?
I wouldn't bet.
I feel like Trey comes out and like
Look, the Wizards and the Pacers are even.
the Wizards and
Then go
Pacers.
Wizards.
Wizards.
I think Porzingis is gonna ball out tonight. Shout out Porzingis. So now we're at 4 teams plus 977. So this is great.
Put 100.
Wait,
Fuck
what
outta
four teams do we have?
So we have right now we have
Look, we have to put at least a minimum of $30.
no chance, dude. We're
Why?
playing slow. What the fuck? We have a whole season to get through. We win one. Now we have openings. Now we're like good. So we have the Nuggets money line against the Jazz, the Mavericks money line against the Suns, Kings money line against the Blazers, and the Wizards money line against the Pacers. Stop shaking your head at the Kings. They're gonna win. I believe in the Kings until I don't.
Every time he says that, you got to put the scoreboard.
Okay, so the Magic and the Pistons are close. Do you want to bet on that game? That's like fucking
The Mavericks and who? The Suns, you
the
said?
Pistons. Magic Pistons.
Oh, Magic Pistons.
That's
Okay,
tough,
I go
man.
Pistons.
They're,
I think it's
they're the
tough.
favorites.
I go Pistons.
Or do you want to do over?
I love Ventura, but he's not beating the
Do you want to do
Pistons.
over on the points? I think the Pelicans and the Nets are gonna hit the over so easily. 231.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like.
Yeah, I'd go over on the points on the Pelicans and Nets as well.
But also, I'm like scared
Why you scared?
because like I'm scared.
You
Like,
don't think
230,
Zion, KD,
231.
Kyrie, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, these guys, come on, man. No defense either.
I don't
The
know.
Pelicans have defense,
but
but like,
231 is like the highest point total of the night.
what, they have to just score, what, 100 something each?
116 East type shit. Like if it was down there.
116.
Like that's doable.
That's fucking insane.
That's doable though.
Dude, that's insane. I can't do it.
I think they easily score 130 each. Well, not
okay,
each, but like 130 and like to like 120.
We could bet on
It's the first day. Remember, like
if we add the Timberwolves,
it's the first day
if
Zion
we
back.
add the Timberwolves, it adds like plus 200. We just go Timberwolves. Let's go save Timberwolves.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so now we have a plus 1,183. So that's great.
Okay.
5-team parlay for $5. If it hits, we win $59. So it's pretty dog shit to be honest.
I think
But
we should go higher.
$10.
I think we should go 20.
Dude, that's on 5 teams.
Yeah.
On day one.
No.
I think our teams are good though. I think
if we hit,
Max or Dolton.
if
Max.
we
All right.
hit,
I'm gonna do this on myself. Then I'm gonna do my own money
dude,
on this
if
one.
if we hit it, we get like what's 5 divided by 60? 30? What is that?
You said I didn't pass math that good.
I didn't. Actually, that was awful. That was no.
60 divided by 5 is 12, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, this is
Oh,
actually
no, bro.
embarrassing. Holy shit.
I'm gonna try to drop out.
Hold on. 60 divided by 5. It's 12. You're sharp. You're the star. This is a star.
Bro, I remember him saying that he's like, yo, I'm good at math.
I am good at math.
Alright.
I was good at doing math, but I'm better with language.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hey yo.
Okay, so now final bet. Let's finalize this bet. Money line, all money line, Nuggets, Mavericks, Kings, Wizards, Timberwolves.
Go all in.
Fuck out of here.
$100.
All right, so the bet's in.
How much?
I
How
took
much
a
was it?
screenshot. We win 60 if it hits. Damn. We're taking it slow. Like
put
eventually
12.
we'll do
Oh,
like
yeah,
three.
it's fun,
We'll do like
it's
three parlays type
put
shit.
12.
5 is a little bit extra.
12.
12 is fucking insane. All right. Well, let me see where are we at. All right. Let's move on real quick. So we just did our parlay. I'm excited for it. Hopefully we hit. Hopefully we become millionaires by the end of this podcast. For different reasons. Maybe we get sponsored. Sponsor us, gambling sites. Let's do it.
For sure.
I want to talk about real quick. Since we kind of touched on it because of the Heat Bulls wager, which I'm excited. Hopefully that the Bulls win tonight. I want to say a couple things. Number one, about our staff. And I know you're not the biggest Bulls fan. You're a DeRozan fan.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck.
God damn these shorts.
I want to just, as Lewis stands up, I want to put this out there. And I want to be respectful with this, and I want to be careful with my words, but I just want to
Now I'm kind of scared, bro.
This whole entire off season, you're already laughing. Why the fuck are you laughing? This whole entire off season, number one, we had the Lonzo Ball shit.
Yep.
Right? He had 3 surgeries, couldn't get one of them right until his last one apparently. Zach LaVine had off-season surgery on his knee. All off-season, we just gave him a max contract, super max contract, $200 and something million. All off-season, I've heard from Arturas Karnisovas, Billy Donovan, Zach LaVine and fucking self, maybe his newborn daughter. I don't even know. Maybe his dog said some shit. I don't know. All I've heard is Zach LaVine's healthy. Zach LaVine's good to go. Zach LaVine's back.
That's all I've heard as well.
That's all we've heard. He played 2 preseason games. He wasn't taking a lot of shots, and I was like, well, he's getting back to it. He's getting his knees, getting his bounce back. No, probably the entire time he was still fucking hurt, but no one said anything. And this is why I'm
looking like an MPJ type.
Okay, stop. Don't say
scene.
those things. Here's why I'm pissed off. Because ever since I've been a Bulls fan for the record since 2011. Die hard all day since MVP Rose. That's my guy. Die hard Bulls fan to the day I die. I will die in a Bulls t-shirt, I hope. Listen, ever since I've been a fan, Luol fucking Deng had a spinal tap surgery. Almost lost his fucking life. Lost 20 pounds off his weight. Joakim Noah had plantar fasciitis. What the fuck is that? He had that though, and he was out for a whole season. D Rose tore his MCLs, ACLs. His heart was broken. I don't even fucking know. Everything went to shit. Chris Dunn had injuries. Larry Markin had injuries. Wendell.
You're a fan of a lot of people that have injuries. AD's another one.
But I'm saying the Bulls have the worst injury luck. And could it be injury luck? Sure. It could just be injury luck, and we just get unfortunate injury luck and whatever. We fucking suck.
For sure.
Or we sold our soul to the devil in the 90s when we gave fucking 6
exactly
rings
why
to our franchise, and now we can never be good again.
The Rose and leave,
Michael
please.
fucking Jordan did this to us. Or Or
That's crazy to say.
or
It's a good thing to say.
our team doctors are fucking incompetent, and I've been thinking about
Hire
this
me as a
forever.
doctor.
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because you know what? It's injury and you get unlucky. But is it a fucking coincidence? Is it a coincidence that we always get hurt? Is it a coincidence that everyone can't ever be healthy? Is that a coincidence? Let me know.
Sold your soul to the devil.
Hold on.
What?
Nothing. You say fucking nothing to me because you don't fucking know either. You guys can't fucking heal anybody. Okay? Zach Levine's hurt. I was so excited to go tonight. Look at me. I'm wearing my Zach Levine t-shirt because I'm excited to see him. I was excited to see him. Guess what? He's not going to fucking be there anymore. And that's all I got to say. I'm pissed off about the Bulls' health and our training staff. I don't know what to think about it.
They can hire me as a doctor. I'll help them out.
Probably be better. They're probably, oh, this knee's him. And that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
He's just good.
This knee is him.
That's crazy.
Sorry about that. If the Bulls training
go
staff
off.
is
W
watching,
rant.
Go off.
I can't take it anymore, man. We're just unlucky. We're an unlucky franchise. We're unserious
I
franchise.
can't take it as a DeRozan fan that everything just happens.
I just don't, and you know what? As a DeRozan supporter, as a guy who loves DeRozan from what he did last year for our team, what he did for me last year as a watcher of our team when everything was going to shit, and he was the only figure that stood
Breaking
tall.
Will Chamberlain records out there, man.
He was doing the damn thing, and I feel bad for him right now. Hopefully Vucevic comes out and be Magic Vucevic. He had a great preseason.
I saw that. He was
He was
hooping.
balling out. And shout out Kobe.
And
White.
shout out Dalen Terry. That guy's
Taylor Terry
Shout out the
is-
Heat.
That's a dog. I
that's
told
a
you
dog.
that's my fucking dog.
Shout
My
out the
guy.
Heat.
I'll shout out him because when the draft was happening, we was at Flanagan's, and this guy's like, "Yo, we draft Dalen Terry. This team needs him." I'm like, "Okay, I don't even know who that is, so we'll hear it."
I told you, like, they're gonna
Comes
draft him.
out, he's a jack of all trades, man. He does everything.
Yeah, he just needs
Crazy.
to put on some more muscle and he'll be good. Jalen Williams, I want him to fall to us, but whatever. Real quick, we're going toward the end of the show. But I want to talk about, we had a fantasy draft the other day.
Yeah,
It was a fun time.
It was a
We
fun
all
time.
got together. We went to Duffy's.
Very fun
I looked great. Dressed up. I looked awesome.
I looked great and I drafted great. That's the good thing.
I don't know if you drafted great.
I
but you-
drafted amazing.
Nah,
your
you drafted
your
pretty
team's
good.
pretty good.
You
But
drafted
also,
pretty
you know what?
good.
Last night, your fucking team had like everybody playing. You had
I only had 3 players.
okay, but like, your best players were playing. You
My
had
best-
Harden,
I
you
had 0
Harden.
points, man. Nobody played for me
Oh, you
yesterday.
didn't play last night.
Yeah.
All I had was Pat Bev and Draymond Green.
I had LeBron, James Harden, and Marcus Smart.
And your team's pretty nasty. It's pretty good. I was looking at the roster, like,
Appreciate it.
damn, he still got Chris Middleton down there.
Appreciate
got
it.
Oladipo.
Yeah, but he's out for a while now.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of injuries right now. Like, LaMelo Ball got hurt. Shout out my boy.
That's why I didn't draft Middleton, because I saw him like his ADP was there, and I was like, I can't draft Middleton. He's like, gonna be out for
I
like
feel
at
like
least
he
like 20.
fell off like really low, and that's why I got him.
Yeah,
I
but he's
didn't
gonna
get
be out for
him.
like 20 games, I think it is.
I got him like in the middle.
That's so brutal, dude. That's so brutal for the Bucks. We have
Yeah, for the
that
Bucks,
standing.
bro.
Dude.
Hey, I'm a Giannis
Nah,
hater, man,
bro.
but that guy's he's gonna do his
But
thing.
like he helps out Giannis like so much.
And
Like,
Brook
they
is
need
back
him.
too. Brook didn't play last season.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
but he's
Brook,
aging.
Brook is not as good
He's
as like
aging now.
he's not as good as he used to be. But listen, I like our fantasy teams. I don't know if you guys want to pull up your guys. Oh, I can pull it up for you guys if you want to announce.
I know
your
who I
top.
have. I have CP, Spider, Jimmy, PG, Jokic, Zion, Jalen Green, KPJ, and,
That KPJ,
and Simons.
I can't believe you tried to convince. Well, listen, Juan, he's probably watching this. Our boy,
Spencer Dinwiddie's him, and Brandon Clark is him.
no, listen, we have a lot of guys, a lot of our friends watch the show. Shout out you guys. We appreciate
Shout
you
out,
guys
man.
watching. We have a lot of the friends that watch the show that they're in the league with us. And Juan is one of our friends who doesn't really watch basketball. But he enjoys having time with his friends. He's going to come to us with the game. It's going to be us three and our boy Juan. You'll probably see on the
Catch us
All-
out there.
You'll probably,
Catch us out
you'll
there.
probably see us on the AllNet IG at the AllNet podcast. Hit us follow, watch a story. You get it. But he traded Spencer Dinwiddie and Brandon Clark for KPJ.
Beautiful trade.
I think it's a bonehead trade for Juan because KPJ is going to have a great year, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't think so.
And that's just because. And listen, this is the commission right here. We got the commission of our league right over here.
Yes,
It wasn't that bad of a trade though.
But listen,
It's not like pure fleece.
I don't think it's pure fleece, but I think we definitely know who the best player in that trade is.
But yeah, it's KPJ for sure.
Not-
But like
not even
Spencer
close.
Dinwiddie could actually come out and become
I
Jalen
don't think
Brunson.
so. I think he's not going to be.
Jalen
like,
Brunson was putting up like 45 a game. I
He's
think
not
it was.
Jalen Brunson. Spencer Dinwiddie
Yeah, that's a different-
is one of the most
different players.
inconsistent players of all time.
True.
And Brandon Clark his role's only going to get worse as the year goes on. So it's pretty much a Dinwiddie for KBJ trade straight up, and you're not winning that. That's my point. But listen, props to you for finessing a innocent man. Okay, you beat him up on the side of the road, took his clothes, left him there, and he's shaking and cold. And you're like, I got KPJ, and that's what happened. And now it's fucked. But Real quick, I'll run down a couple notable names from my roster just so you guys could see, what we're dealing with. The names on my team aren't the sexiest names. I understand.
I shot a lot of good players in my team.
Yeah, if
you heard my team, that's a 10-man team, man. I fleeced everybody. I ain't gonna lie.
I got Ben Simmons, Cade, KD, Kristaps, Rudy Gobert, De'Aaron Fox, Larry Marketing, Josh Giddey, Devin Vassell, and then a couple guys, and obviously
I think the best player there is Devin Vassell, man.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then Matt, you got me to shout out your team? Or
You do it.
Okay, so Matt's team, we have. I'm gonna name some notable names. We got Van Vliet, Levine, Mobley, Jared Allen,
James Harden,
John Collins, James Harden, Wendell Carter Jr.,
Not
LeBron
him.
James, and Chris Middleton's hurt, but Norman Powell's also there. There's some decent names there. Now, ironically, I didn't mean for this episode to turn this way, but we've gambled a lot on this episode, and
sure.
I think it's only fair that we just keep raising the stakes. Raise the stakes. I love raising stakes.
The gambling addiction's coming out.
Now, we're all in the same fantasy league. I'm sure we're going to keep talking about it as the year goes on because
For
fantasy
sure.
basketball is one of the most fun things we do all year.
So I guess we're gonna bet.
We're going to bet who's going to have the better season.
Of course, it's me.
So now, how do we want to do
Of course
this?
it's
My
me.
question. And then, number one, are you guys down? It's nothing crazy.
I'm down.
We'll figure out what the wager is, but maybe we could spitball.
$100 each.
$100. Chill out. This is
Why not?
we don't have sponsorships yet. We have to get sponsorships, and then we give out.
We're sponsored by AIM.
No, we get sponsorships, and then we just.
He
then we
hasn't
just
bought
buy.
it.
Yeah, you're gonna pay us for the product placement here, or should I just put black bars over all these shirts? I'm like, okay, they haven't paid us yet. We can't put this out. But listen, number one, before we decide a wager, let's decide how we want to do it. Is everyone in? Are we in?
I'm in.
Okay, we're in.
I'm in.
Okay.
Always.
All right. So look, do we want to do who finishes the further in the playoffs, or
Regular season.
regular season record?
I hold regular season banners all the time.
You do who you are regular. This Miami is a regular season.
I don't want to
banner
see how far we go into playoffs because you and me are in the same division. We might probably face each other like early on.
But also our standing. Well, that's the thing. Our standings
I'm
are
him.
affected between us. Like
Himothy.
our tiebreakers.
So I'm saying like you and me go against each other in playoffs. Lewis gets an easy pass.
Himothy.
Because I have to go through you, or you have to go through me, or he has to go through you, vice versa. So one of us is stopping at some point.
That's a good point. So how would you want to do it, Lewis?
Himothy.
Okay. How would you want to do it?
I'd rather go regular season.
But me and him are in the same division.
So yeah, you guys face each other more.
We've never fixed it more. It's just
Whoever's gonna go the farthest. Whoever goes the farthest wins.
okay, but let's
That's what I'm saying. Like you might have to go through me, and then Adrian has a easier path.
Yeah, but whoever makes it first.
Well, but if I have an easier path, it means I have probably a higher seed. Which
Yeah.
means I earned it.
Depends.
Okay, look.
Whoever goes farthest, that's the best. That's the best bet.
I like I like it
I want
because
whatever.
well, listen. To be honest, you have LeBron, right? LeBron might not play at the end of the season. He has guys
Don't
like
say
Well,
that.
he
like
dra-
Jalen Green and
don't say
KBJ,
that.
but he has Jalen Green and KBJ who might get shut down at the end of the season.
Hey.
These are real
Hey.
things. These are real things. LaMelo
he has
Ball,
LaMelo.
Ball, he might get shut down too. So
Cade.
these are all the Cade. Yeah, these are all guys that we're not sure if they're gonna play at the end of the season.
I think KBJ and Jalen Green play.
I think it's fair. I think whoever first is the farthest is a tiebreaker.
for sure.
We decided on points for, I guess, for the season, or we could do regular season record, which is
I'd rather just go farthest, man. Whoever makes
Let's
farthest.
go for this.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that we need to have a tiebreaker because we could end up in the same round. That's it.
Yeah, but we end up in the championship, and if I win the championship, I win
Okay.
the leagues. I
Well,
win the
look,
leagues
how
pot
about
and your bet. That's
How about
crazy.
this? How about this? If it's a tiebreaker, right, and we both get eliminated in the same round, so let's say it's the round before the championship, the constellation bracket will pull us against each other because we lost.
Okay, yeah.
So whoever wins that game,
I'm
that's how we
I'm
do
down.
it, right? So the
I mean, if you guys both get eliminated, I
and
won the
you're a
league.
champion, and you're a champion.
I won the league.
Yeah, it's fine. But that's how we're gonna do it. So the tiebreaker is the constellation bracket. If we're faced up against each other, if we're not, we'll figure it out later. But that's
For
probably
sure.
most likely what will happen. Because if you end up in the top 4 and then whatever.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're settled now. What are we competing for? What do we want? What do we want to put on the table?
$100.
I'm honestly not that against that, to be honest.
I'm with it.
You're with it?
I'm with it.
I
Just shake
like
on
it.
3-way shakes.
Shake, because you guys are about to get clapped.
All right. So now we lost all our money on this episode. It's over. We're done. I paid
CP, Zion, Jokic, Jimmy
They ain't
Butler,
on shit.
You asked
They're
you for
not on
injuries.
shit. No bullshit.
PG.
You asked you for injuries.
So I mean, listen, I'm excited for this now. I have a little bit more stakes. I mean, so
yeah, we lost our whole paycheck off of this.
type
Paycheck,
shit.
bro.
yeah.
I'm unemployed.
We both unemployed, bro.
Hopefully, someone sponsors us for the love of God. Holy shit, someone sponsor us.
He can sponsor us, bro. We got
All right, so I guess
Miami
UD,
Heat sponsors.
Birdman.
UD, Jimmy, Hero. You're not the bad. Come on, bro.
they do not know you guys.
Not yet.
They know me.
So to end it off, you just started the last game of the season. I mean, the first game of the season, not the last game of the season. First game of the season.
Damn, you're already in the last game of the season.
Bullshit. It might be a little bit too late, but I think we can still do it.
What?
I want to give out some breakout players who you guys think could be some under the radar names that could have some big seasons for their teams.
Okay.
I don't know who wants to start. I can start if you guys want.
Yeah, you start.
Also,
You start. Go ahead.
I'm starting off with Jalen Smith from the Pacers.
I got Jalen Smith on my list.
You sharp. You
Fuck
sharp.
yes, bro. Jalen Smith's gonna ball out. But go ahead. Tell me why Jalen Smith's gonna ball out on the Pacers.
Once he got traded to the Pacers last year, he had a bigger role. His numbers went up. I feel like now with a full off season with the Pacers, I feel like now he's gonna increase his role and become a bigger offensive threat in the Pacers.
He got
squad.
traded for a bag of chips, too. Literally nothing. It was like Torrey Craig and like a second round pick or some shit.
Especially Turner and Buddy Hield get traded. He's only gonna get
I
better.
I think Turner's even more likely to get traded because I think the Pacers are going to tank and go for Wembanyama at that point. To be honest,
For sure.
I think Jalen Smith's probably going to play the 4. I like the pick. Isaiah Jackson's back there too. He might need some minutes. Goga Patate, all these guys. I like the pick.
You already know who I'm gonna pick, man. Pod knows, man. Kendrick Nunn.
Okay.
Kendrick Nunn will put up at least 18 in this season. You're gonna hear from me right now.
18 points.
18 off that bench, man. I'm telling you.
No chance he puts up 18.
6th man of the year. No, I'm just kidding. Not 18. He'll put up 13 or 14, but he'll be
I
a
like
big
the
piece.
pick though.
He'll be a big piece off that Lakers team.
I'm a fan of this pick. I actually like that pick. It's a decent one. I have a couple. I mean, obviously we all have a couple, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down a few.
So I'll just go. I'll throw one out there. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. Okay.
Just go.
I don't care if I'm getting called a homer for this. I'm gonna do it because I think it's a big deal. I think it's gonna be important for our season. And I'm gonna pick two guys at the same time because I think
I have a feeling I know who it is.
they're both, of course, they're both in the same kind of realm. One is our new starting point guard, Al Dasumu. I think he's gonna have a great year. I'm a fan of his. If I had more
pick.
space on my fantasy team, I probably would have him already there, but I just don't.
Yeah, I'm too stacked around here, man.
I have no Bulls players on my fantasy team, sadly, but I'll assume I think he's in prime for a good year. He played really well as a rookie last year. He's gotten stronger. His 3-pointer looks a little better. Looks more confident in his shot. I'm excited for Io. And then the other guy I have is a guy who a lot of his classmates from the rookie year got extensions this year, and he hasn't played up to the point where he deserves the extension. But it's a contract year for him, kind of. He'll be entering restricted free agency. And out of UNC, number 0,
Oh my god.
Kobe White.
There's no way this guy
Oh,
did this.
brother.
Kobe White.
Oh, brother.
Oh, it
And,
is.
and you know
That's a
what?
stinker.
And you know what? Listen, everyone out there watching, listening on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, leave a rating. Watching on YouTube, clip this and hear me good and hear me clear. Okay? Kobe White tonight, 20 points tonight. Minimum 20 points.
All right,
Or-
that one I will agree with you.
And it starts
That's
tonight. The
agreeable.
road for a new contract starts tonight. You heard it here first. I got Kobe White and I'll assume my Bulls guys locked in.
All right,
for the
actually
season.
now thinking about that pick, if Zach LaVine is hurt most of the year
if he
and puts up his that's actually a good pick. I like that pick.
I'm
Man.
not like I
like that pick.
I don't believe in it like crazy, but like I could see it happen.
I can see it happening too.
Also, shout out Patrick Williams. I won't say Patrick Williams, but I think he's a little bit more like he's not like under the
he's
radar.
in the radar, like
yeah, people are like, oh, he's gonna take a leap this year. So
for sure.
I'm not picking him, but I hope he does take that leap that people are talking about. Matt, give me another one. Who you got?
Give me one sec.
He's got his notes over there.
I had Cameron Johnson.
Okay, new starting power forward.
He was starting power forward last year when Crowder was hurt. He put up 16 points per game as a starter. He averages at least 12. So I feel like now back to being a starter, he's trying to go back to putting that 16, 17 points per game.
Shooting the ball at probably a 40% clip from 3.
He's a good 3-point shooter. Yeah.
I think his defense is only getting better. I mean, he got crossed up that last game, but still. I like the pick. I like Cameron Johnson. I'm a fan. Lewis, you got another one?
Josh Hart, baby.
Okay. What do you see? I mean, he's going to play a bigger role for this team for sure. The Blazers.
I think he's gonna be a big role for this Blazers team, and if this Blazers team pushes a play-in and wins that, he's gonna be a big factor in that. To be honest,
I'm a fan. I like the pick. Josh Hart's an energy guy. Does a lot of everything.
he does everything.
He's a sneaky like Like he's almost like a Caruso build where he's like does everything you need to do for a win.
Because Caruso was under the radar last season. When he came in, bro, he was a big breakout player for the Bulls. I think Josh Hart is that guy for that team as well.
I agree. I like the pick. He's gonna have a big role this year.
He also looked good in that pro league that we went to.
Bro, he was not missing, man.
He was
He's
not
him.
missing, bro.
Not the pro. It was Miami Pro League.
Yeah.
Miami Pro League.
He was
Shout
there?
out Miami
Yeah,
Pro
he
League.
was there.
But he was there.
Fire.
Not missing.
Another guy I got, probably not as under the radar as some of the other guys, but I still believe in him. I believed in him for a while now.
I have another man too.
You guys probably vouch for this. How much I've talked about him. Nick Claxton, Brooklyn Nets center. I've been high on his game for a while, for a couple years. Last year he got some spots with James Harden, especially. He was really really good. Then toward the end of the year, he was kind of in and out of the lineup. He's put on a lot.
Yeah, because they were starting LaMarcus and they were starting
Andre Drummond.
And shit.
He's put on. He was hurt a little bit of the year last year too.
Yeah.
He's pulling a lot of muscle. He seems confident in his game.
Cut his hair.
He did cut his hair, which is a big deal. KBJ cut his hair too.
It didn't work for Kobe White.
Louis too.
It didn't work for Kobe White,
It
but
did
this
not
year it's a
work
different
for
year.
Kobe.
It's a different year. But Nick Claxton, he's gonna be the starting center for the Nets.
That's twin.
I expect that's not twin. He's 7'4" or some shit ridiculous. Nick Claxton, that's my guy though, and I hope he has a great year. And I think it's a year for him to keep balling out. He got kind of respect on that contract he gave him in the offseason, so hopefully he outplays it and has a great year for the Nets. Matt, you got another one?
I do. It's not an under the radar type player. It's Shady Bay
Okay.
from the Pistons.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, I think this is his year. Like he balls out, becomes a 20-point per game player, and with Cade and Jaden Ivey, I feel like they're just gonna help him out.
I agree. He wasn't that efficient last year, but he averaged 50
He did.
points
He did
still.
show like flashes last year.
Yeah,
He had like
fit.
that 51 game against Orlando. Like he was not missing.
Diallo's better.
I'm a fan of Sadiq. I'm a fan of Sadiq. I'm high on him. I like the pick. Lewis, who you got?
Okay. He's not like... He might be under the radar because of the team that he's in, but I got Trey Man. If Shea goes
Love
down...
that pick.
Another Miami Pro League player.
Another Miami Pro League, man. He was like slow in the start of the Miami Pro, but at the end of the game, he just started driving in, dunking everybody. He was doing everything.
Yeah, he looked into
He's him.
Yeah.
And he just got tatted. We twinning. You feel me? That's how I got
I'm a
to
big Trey Man. Actually, I got into a break and I hit the Thunder and I actually got a Trey Man auto. So
That's
hopefully
fine.
Trey Man balls out. So I could be a millionaire one day, or I got thousandaire.
Hey, if Shea goes down and he becomes the starting point guard again, bro, he could easily put up.
Well, I think right now he's probably gonna be the starting two guard or it'd probably be Dort.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dort, Giddey.
You know who's the
Shea.
other guy on that team since Holmgren went down? Darius Baisley. Watch Darius
Oh, yeah.
Baisley. Watch out for him.
I had him in
Sneaky.
fantasy last season.
Yeah, he had a good year. He had a good end of the year last year.
Yeah.
He was dominant.
That was my guy.
For Darius Baisley standards, he was dominant. Okay, I have like two more guys. I don't know if you guys have more guys or no.
Nah,
That's it.
I only have 3.
So I'll quickly go. I already mentioned him a little bit before. Jonathan Kuminga. I think he's gonna get a bigger role in that Warriors team. I like Kuminga. He came out of the G League Ignite. Kind of a Paul George-esque build type player. He's not as polished as Paul George is with his handle and stuff, but watch out for Kuminga. Sneaky athletic, or maybe uber athletic if you really watch his game.
Uber.
Like uber athletic. Uber just humps out the gym. The other guy though.
No, I was thinking about Uber. Like
Sneaky pick. Maybe no one thought his name would be mentioned on this podcast ever, but former Heat player, Precious Achiuwa of the Toronto Raptors.
I like that player.
what the hell?
I like that player.
That's such insane.
Watch what happens when Precious starts hitting the 3-ball more consistently, which he already kind of did last year. He's a defender.
He played good in playoffs.
He's a guy I would love to have on my Bulls squad right now, but I don't. I think we should go after him. The Raptors need a center. They haven't had one.
For sure.
They had Boucher, and he ain't shit. And they have nobody. And I think they're gonna play a big 6'9" lineup again. He's probably gonna be a small ball.
But isn't Pascal starting for the center?
Yeah, but I think Precious is still gonna be like getting his reps in and shit.
For sure.
But I think I wouldn't be shocked if the starting lineup is like OG.
Yo, the Raptors team is nasty.
OG
man.
misses a lot of time, but Precious, another 6'9" guy they have there, I think he's gonna be able to defend multiple positions, 3-4 positions, and shoot the ball again. And
Shout out Raptors though, man. That team is nasty.
If there's a
If they're
team that I
healthy,
would want
they're a tough team,
my
bro.
team to emulate, it'd be the Raptors. And I'm getting higher and higher on them as the time goes on. Delano Banton, he's a guy out there that I like on that team. They just have a lot of guys who
They just need OG to stay healthy.
They're all 6'9". Yeah, for sure.
He put up 32 in that last preseason game, man.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent and a lot of they just don't have a lot of scoring right now. But Gary Trent Jr. I like, and They're playing the Cavs tonight, which would be a fun game. I'm definitely gonna go back. I mean, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
watch
tune in
these
that
games now because
Yeah,
we're
unfortunately.
watching the fucking Heat Bulls. Which I mean, I'm saying that like it's a fucking drag. I like watching my Bulls. But when I get home, I'll be watching League Pass and shit. It'll be great. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. I'm excited to have NBA back. Excited to be back doing the podcast weekly again. I mean, we kind of took some time off after the last episode because we just had a big gap between the top 30 and now because we wanted to be able to talk about this last night's games on this episode. Again, shout out Lewis, shout out Matt. Of course,
Shout out Lewis always.
Okay, and of course I'm Adrian. We appreciate you guys watching, listening, tuning in. Shout out AIM, Aliens in Miami.
You already know.
AliensInMiami.com, Aliens in Miami on Instagram. Go check it out. And yeah, again, if you're listening on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Spotify,
Love is free,
Apple
man. Love is free. Always shout us out, man. Love is free.
That's facts.
Yeah, it's it don't cost nothing to show some love.
Exactly.
It costs nothing. But hit us with a follow on IG, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere that you think we might be, we are.
For sure.
And thanks for listening. And that's all net.